Hello and welcome to another Warcraft 3 commentary casting sensationalized news report. That's right. And it is a news report because this is not the finals for ZOTAC number 257 because the finals for ZOTAC number 257 have been canceled. No, not canceled. That's not the word. Delayed. Delayed is the word. So, not all that uncommon of an event to have the finals delayed just because players have to play all day long, and especially with all the different time zone issues, it's one of those things that happens. Also, unfortunately, I was unable to get my hands on the semi-final replays as of yet. I am still working on that, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Unfortunately, I was unable to get into those games. I had a little bit of other stuff going on at the time, but that's my bad. I should definitely be able to get the finals casted as soon as they are played, hopefully. And I believe that might be tomorrow. I'm not sure. But having said that, these are I believe I have 3 games to bring that are still from ZOTAC today. This is the first of them. This is Lucifer versus eMaL, and let's go ahead and get into the game. We have Lucifer spawning as the pink undead on the left, and eMaL spawning as the teal orc on the right. And do you see Blade Master Shop Grunt, pretty standard, with a standard fiend build from Lucifer. So that'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. This is a map that you can definitely do a lot on this map. There's a lot of very good ghoul strategies that come with creeping this right off the bat before the Blade Master gets over here. I do believe I believe the Blade Master can gank you on this with those ghoul openings, but usually won't be doing all that much damage. But regardless, we are seeing the fiend opening today, the standard fiend from Lucifer. So no real reason to be worrying about the ghouls opening. And we see that the orc is going ahead and creeping this. And I imagine chances are he's going to make a beeline straight for over here to the undead's base as soon as this finishes. However, it would not be uncommon to see if he goes ahead and sells his TP, picks up some healing items, creeps this blue ogre, maybe goes down here and gets his boots and circle it or something. I don't quite know the timings on that, but that's something that we might see as well, so we'll see. Sorry, I just kind of woke up a little bit. I had to take a nap. I've been up since 3 a.m. this morning, and now it's 6:20, so just a little short nap, but getting some caffeine. So yeah, here we do see it looks like he is going to go ahead and go for this blue ogre camp right here. And since he's bringing this grunt over here, it could just be a scare tactic to try to, slow down, delay the undead a little bit, Lucifer a little bit. We'll see what he's doing with it. And he might even decide that after he creeps off this, instead of going all the way down there to get the... Well, actually, it'll be too early for boots, so he's probably going to just try to harass a little bit. And then go down there and get the circlet and the boots later. And actually, he already has picked up 2 circlets. I believe that he probably bought one from this shop. And I believe that they dropped the claws of attack from that ogre. So, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, but that sounds about right. To get the claws of attack from the ogre. So you're going to see that a little bit of harass coming on from this Blade Master, as we saw right there. Just went ahead and stole the creep experience. I believe he got the tome as well and windwalked immediately, and now he's opening back up on a fiend. A grunt coming in here, doing a little bit of damage. 1 hit to the Death Knight. Not really being in too big of a rush to really do too much with that grunt, just because he doesn't want to get it into the base and having it get surrounded or trapped or killed. But just staying on the outskirts and getting a whack in here and there, definitely something that grunts are good at. Last thing you want to do, of course, in the early game is to actually lose a grunt. That would be absolutely terrible. And we do see that there's only 3 fiends in play right now, and of course the fourth fiend is coming out. It's on its way. But this is important just because whenever you have 3 fiends, it's a little bit hard to hold off these kind of pushes. Once you get to 4 fiends, and especially at 5, if you do go to 5, however, this build is not aiming for 5, as you can see. There isn't a third ziggurat to go up, so there won't be the food to get to that. And this looks more like he's going to be doing 3rd ziggurat just to have the lich come in, maybe at the same time as the tech. So he might do a very quick tech, or he might just be doing something different. We'll see. And if he has a really late 3rd ziggurat, but there it goes right there. And that's early enough to go ahead and be able to get lich as soon as he hits tier 2. So that's a good ziggurat timing, and that should indicate that we're going to see the lich be a priority. And the only question then is, will he be going for a tier 3 priority or a slaughterhouse priority? And it looks like he's only going to have the lumber for 2 of those. So either the Lich in the Slaughterhouse or the Lich in the Tech, and we'll see what happens. And you might even decide to go Tech and Slaughterhouse instead, and that depends on the game situation, because sometimes if you think that the Blade Master is going to be harassing you at a later date, maybe as you would put down your Slaughterhouse, but you're also in a position where you really want a fast TP, then sometimes you'll see that the Lich is delayed despite this early Ziggurat. So it just depends on really how the game goes, but again, these early Ziggurat, to have this timing, as you can see it completed right here, right before this hits tier 2, is generally a good indicator that we are going to see the Lich coming out. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see exactly what's played out here. Of course, Burrow is one of the priority upgrades, actually, so looks like that's something I didn't really mention as a possibility, but that's what he's going with. Burrow, very good choice here. Burrow Lich, maybe he's just banking here for an upgrade, or maybe he'll be throwing down a Slaughterhouse here in a second, or maybe he'll just be teching. Well, it's interesting to see. When you have Burrow, your reliance on Slaughterhouses is a little bit lower, just because you don't need the statues quite as much with Burrow. Of course, they definitely still help, because of course Burrow does not help really directly heal your heroes at all in either regard to mana or to HP. We see this fight going off, and actually this is bad. The Shadowhunter is in here, which gets a Hex off. See this Burrow immediately using all the Burrow on all of those 3 fiends that are left, simply because if he did not do that, then the Shadowhunter would have hexed yet another fiend, and that would have almost spelled certain death for it. And here we do see that Lucifer is prioritizing the Tech over the Slaughterhouse, and with that Burrow he can do that most certainly effectively. The Orc is very aggressive right now. He's not level 3 on his Blade Master, but he's still very aggressive, and he's just basically probably going to try to creep out a camp here if he cannot find the Undead's army. I think that is his priority, basically because he has the Shadowhunter, and with Hex you can do so much damage. If you Hex a Fiend, generally it's dead, generally, because it does slow it down, it makes it harder to move it away, and so in general you can just kind of count that as a really big setback to the Undead, because of course at the mid game it's very fickle. His economy is everything is planned out very tightly. So sorry about that. Everything is planned out very tightly, as you can see. Pretty much every one of these, as you can see from the Ziggurat, the Ziggurat went down, and now it's timed appropriately. Resource collection was timed pretty appropriately to let him have the Burrow as well as the Lich coming out. Here we do see this fight going off, the Speed Scroll coming in, Hex on the DK. However, the DK did not stay Hex long enough for him to be able to not coil, so he did coil the Fiend. However, it was not enough because the DK is only level 1. Fiend is burrowed, however, the Orc has a Dust of Appearance, and is he going to be able to pick off that other Fiend? He's going to be able to pick it off with the Windwalked Blade Master. Yet another Fiend is hexed, however, he does have Frost Armor on it. The Blade Master taking quite a bit of damage, but he does have a Windwalk. He has enough mana for a Windwalk, so it's probably going to be fine. This Fiend is maybe going to live. The Fiend is looking like it's going to live. It's very close to having a coil coming off, but it gets burrowed instead, which is just as good enough as well. I don't see a Dust here. Yes, there's a Dust, and he's going to go ahead and he puts the Dust on the Shadowhunter so he does not have to break the Windwalk from his Blade Master, and the Shadowhunter uses the Dust. However, the Fiend was coiled as that happened, so ended up living just fine. And there's a Grunt running away with 37 HP. However, the chase stopped and a healing salve went off, so the Grunt just going to get away with no problem right there. And we do see, of course, very close to level 3 on the Blade Master, the Shadowhunter being level 1 halfway through it, the Lich being very low on level 1, and the Death Knight being very low on level 1. However, we do see tier 3 on for the Undead, which means he's going to be able to get Orb, and as you can see, he's very close to that. He's timed his gold very well, or managed his gold very well, so he'll be able to buy that. He won't be able to pick up a Skeleton Rod as well, but he does have 3 charges right there on his Death Knight. So, in fact, he might have actually picked that up just before he left. I didn't catch it if he did, but that's good though, because he needs those skeleton charges so he can scout, and he also needs them so he can see a little bit of what's going on around him. I guess technically scouting is very important, especially on small maps like this, and especially against orcs who have proven that they're going to be very aggressive and because you have to creep, you need your experience, and this is a small map, and so on a small map, experience becomes more valuable especially for undead, because undead needs hero levels so badly. And we do see this orc coming in here for this Jack, and he does have Spirit Link, and we don't see Destroyer form being researched just yet. He's going to go ahead and ensnare that statue, so the statue is very likely going to die here to focus fire, but we'll see. This is a very hard fight for the undead because he does not have level 3 on his Death Knight, so his defensive abilities here are not that great. He does not have Dispel. No Destroyer means he can't get rid of the Spirit Link, he can't get rid of the Hex, and he's having to take this fight that he does not really want to be taking right here, I don't think, because, again, just because of the hero levels, because of the fact that he doesn't have all the researches that he wants to have upgraded. And I think the Destroyer is done, but he does not have a statue now, so there's nothing he can actually upgrade into a Destroyer just yet. Losing several units here in this fight, going ahead and picking off a Spirit Walker with Nova that was in the ethereal form, which of course takes an additional 40% damage from magic, or is it? I think it's actually 66. Yeah, I was thinking Dota values for some reason. An additional 66% damage from magic damage, while it's in the ethereal form, and of course it takes it's not immune to physical damage in the corporal form. So trade-offs for that for the Spirit Walker. If you don't know, they have the two forms: the corporal form, where they can take physical damage, and the ethereal form, where they cannot take physical damage, but they have 66% additional damage from magic. So now that I've thoroughly explained that point, you can see that a Fiend actually went down, and I believe we saw an Orc unit die. Kind of wasn't paying enough attention right there. I was talking. See a Destroyer on the fight, or in play, going ahead, and I believe it looked to me like he might have just been attacking. Okay, there are some Spirit Links, so if he goes ahead and eats one of those, but he might be saving it for a Hex, maybe. I'm not sure what he's doing right here, but we do see we see another Fiend going down, it looks like. The Blade Master actually died. Okay, I did not notice the Blade Master's HP. A little bit hard to see sometimes with that many little units going around, but definitely good for the undead that he killed the Blade Master. I believe it was surrounded, actually, and he probably didn't have enough mana to get out, and so that's what was probably just saw right there. And that is the big deal, because, of course, now you can see we have 3 feet on these undead heroes, and a decent item, a Ring of Regeneration. Probably going to get sold, but it's not a bad item. 2 hit points per second regeneration is actually quite a lot, and you can see from the Death Knight's HP really just flying up there, because when he is a hero, so he has hero regen, he has the Unholy Aura, which increases HP regen, and then that ring, so that is quite a lot of regeneration. And it's actually incredibly useful for undeads. Not quite as useful as a Sobi Mask, for example, which is going to be mana regeneration, but the Ring of Regeneration is actually quite good because of the fact that a lot of times you'll find that as an undead player, you end up having to go to a late game without economy versus someone who has economy, and so anything that makes your heroes more efficient and longer lasting, such as this, and has a direct result on that longer lasting kind of thing, or a build-up effect kind of like this, or a Sobi Mask that gives you direct regeneration, is actually quite useful. And we can see over here that the Shadow Hunter is actually not level 3 yet, so the undead has actually managed to take a experience advantage over the Orc just from that kill. Ooh, and we do see double Tree Hero. We have a Tree Hero over here, the DK Lich Dark Ranger combo versus the Blade Master Shadow Hunter Torn Chieftain combo, which is a very good combo. It kind of brings the best of both worlds that orcs get when they go TC and they go SH, and there's some severe negatives for both of them. Of course, with the SH, you don't have quite as much ability to not be kited around because you don't have endurance, or you don't do quite as much DPS with the army. Because again, you don't have Endurance War, and you don't have War Stomp, which is pretty tanky, providing a lot of pressure on the positioning of the undead. And of course, with the Shadow Hunter, or with the Torn Chieftain, you don't have the Hex, which is an amazing crowd control, and you don't have the Healing Wave. So you get both. It's very nice. However, you generally don't want that because the hero levels on these heroes matter quite a bit. But on this map, there's not that much creeping to go on, so it's not such a terrible idea sometimes to pick up a third hero, which may seem a little bit counterintuitive. Just because of the way, because you won't be able to get them up to both high levels, but there's so much fighting that goes on, so many little mini skirmishes that they can get quite a bit of experience if you can keep them alive. So we do see the Blade Masters running back into this fight. The Tauren Chieftain's very low right now. However, Drader goes down. A Speed Scroll is going off, and the Tauren Chieftain immediately taking quite a bit of focus fire. And the Tauren Chieftain getting a War Stomp off and running away. The Shadow Hunter taking a lot of damage right here. The Shadow Hunter is going to go down. The Lich almost dead. However, he gets coiled. Quite a bit going on right there. We do see the mercs from eMaL. There's the Orc. He bought a Forest-Troll Berserker, and it's dead as well. And we see a lot of these Orc units being picked off. Undead's in a great position right now. His big hero advantage. He's killed, I believe, the Shadow Hunter. He almost killed the Tauren Chieftain who's running away. Picked off several of the Orc units, as well as a Berserker, a Troll Berserker. Or a Forest Berserker, sorry, Forest Troll Berserker? I think it's Forest Troll Berserker. The Merc, either way, from the Merc camp down there. And there's a Spirit Walker down here, as well as a Raider. So we're going to see the shop going down. And not the greatest, not really a good position at all for the Orc. He does not have much that he can do, and these undead heroes do have quite a bit of mana, so if he decides to come in here, and again, this is the classic problem without the Shadow Hunter, he's not really going to be able to keep his heroes alive if an encounter goes down right here. And with this altar going down, he's going to lose the altar. You won't be able to buy his revive his hero. He's going to have to end up using either the tavern or something. We do see this Tauren Chieftain immediately taking a lot of damage. He gets a Coil Nova. The Lich was taking damage as well. However, he used a Invul Potion, and the GG is called. So a good game. Lucifer moves on. I don't know what round this was for ZOTAC. However, I do know that Lucifer made it to the semifinals, all the way up to the finals. I do believe he won his semifinal rounds, so he should be in the finals tomorrow. Hopefully, whenever I get to cast that, and hopefully it will be tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to cast it. So I'll see you all in the next ZOTAC game.